What is the lateral area of this box? This here is a surface area problem. It's also blended with a polynomials problem, the idea of you practicing the FOIL expansion. So this is kind of a blended final type review type problem. So the key here is the word lateral. Lateral means sides only. How do we find the lateral areas? We need to add up these four parts. We have the front, left, right, and the back parts. So let's set up the nice formula here. Area of the lateral equals 2 times area of the front, because the front and back counts as 2 fronts, plus 2 times the area of a side. I'm going to just choose this right side because I can see it. So this here would be the entire lateral area, which is what I'm trying to find. So this here is equals to 2 times area of the front is going to be bottom times the height, which happens to be 2x plus 3 times x minus 1 plus 2 times area of the side, and the area of the side would be this rectangle, and the formula for a rectangle would be the bottom, 2x minus 1 times the height. Now this height happens to be x minus 1. So when dealing with these type of drawing pictures questions, surface area, we have to be able to carry information over, and that's a very good strategy. So this also happens to be x minus 1. So this is the height of this rectangle, x minus 1. And it's good to review these type of questions because it's very easy to make a careless mistake. Even though you understand the gist of this question, it's very easy to make a very simple error, and it happens a lot. So there's many ways to go about and simplify this polynomial here, but let's just try one way. So I'm looking at this first part here, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get rid of this number 2 by just multiplying it in. So 2 times this, 2x times plus 2 times 3 over here. So I'm just going to combine this right away. So what we have is we have 4x plus 6, as I distributed this way, multiplied x minus 1 plus, and in the same way I'm just going to kind of squeeze it in there. So what I have here is 4x minus 2 times x minus 1. And if we were asked to expand this and simplify, we should do so. This here is FOIL. This is a binomial times a binomial. We need to do FOIL. And I strongly recommend that you focus your eyeballs so they don't go all over the place and go wonky. So it's nice to even draw lines. So this is the first. The first, we have this term times this term. 4x times x is 4x squared. That's first. Outside is the letter O for FOIL. Outside is going to be positive 4x times negative 1 is going to be negative 4x. Inside, this is the inside, FOIL. Inside is positive 6 times positive x is positive 6x. And then the letter L for last. So we multiply this last term of the binomial with the last term here, positive 6 times negative 1 is going to be negative 6. So we finished this FOIL expansion. And now let's work on this one here. What we have is FOIL, so I'm going to focus here. Positive 4x times positive x is positive 4x squared. We do the letter O outside. 4x times negative 1 is negative 4x. We do the inside, which is letter I, FOIL. Inside is negative 2x, and then the letter L, last, is going to be the negative 2 times negative 1 is positive 2. Let's gather our terms. We have x squared here, we have x squared here. So we have 4 plus 4 is 8x squared. And I'm going to double underline all the x's. So we have these things here to resolve. Negative 4 plus 6 is going to be positive 2. Negative 4 is going to be negative 2. Negative 2 again is going to be negative 4. So this is a bit more tricky. You might want to take an extra step if you need to do so. So this here would resolve to be positive 2, and this here would be resolved to be negative 6. So positive 2, negative 6 would be negative 4. So please double check your work when dealing with positive and negative signs. It's always nice to think about the number line. Positive means going to the right, whereas on the number line, negative means going to the left. So here I'm just going to do a little squiggly underline just to differentiate that this here is a number. It's not x squared. Negative 6, positive 2. So on the number line, you go 6 to the left and positive 2 right. The negative sign wins, so it's going to be a negative number. It's going to be negative 4. So these type of questions where you have to just be careful, gather terms, expand, and it's really easy to make a mistake. So it's strongly recommended that you work through a bunch of worksheets and find some online drills to practice your polynomial expansion, binomial times a binomial, binomial times a trinomial, etc. You ultimately have to practice until you can develop your math abs and become very consistent. So the key word is lateral. We know that length times width is the area of a side. Don't get confused the fact that there's 2 fronts and 2 sides, and just work it out very carefully. Use your own strategy so that you can FOIL out very reliably.